this is a really important issue, talking about limiting the amount that our politicians can spend on our behalf. And the other day, I was listening to a speech that President Obama gave, in which he was attempting to define the American dream. And he said that Americans, you know, we don't really want that much. We're not really unrealistically ambitious. You know, he was toning down the idea of the American dream and trying to define it for us. And I said to myself, who are you to define what my American dream is? Who are you to tell me what the limits on my ambitions are? See, the American dream and the Kentucky dream is freedom. The American dream and the Kentucky dream is freedom. And you cannot have freedom in this country or in this state if you don't have economic freedom. If you don't have the ability to set your own limits, to set your own desires, to set your own dream. Without economic freedom, you cannot have real freedom. And as long as our federal government and our state governments continue to put us down the road to years and generations of economic slavery by selling forward our dreams and limiting our dreams for future generations of Kentuckians and Americans, we will not have real economic freedom. There are some stark numbers that I'm sure some of the other speakers today will remind you of. But the Kentucky debt, if you include our unfunded liabilities, our unfunded promises, is $41 billion. That's $9,447 per Kentuckian. Every person in this room is committed to $9,447 because of the spending that has emanated from this building right here in Frankfort. And I got to looking at the states around Kentucky. And of the 7 states that touch the state of Kentucky, there is only one that has a higher individual liability than us. Can anybody guess one of those 7 states it is? Illinois. And we all know what we got from the state of Illinois, right? $16 trillion in national debt. $41 billion in statewide debt. So what do? We have to get accountability and transparency in our government. Senate Bill 1 is the first step in that process. It is the accountability process. It says to them that even when they think we're not looking, there's a limit on what they can do. And that's why this bill is so important. We have to do what we can locally first. We'll have November of 2012 to make some changes on the federal level. But right now, we've got some legislators and some would-be legislators who are standing up here courageously supporting something that this state desperately needs. And let's give the guys, and I always say this on my show, I'm not afraid to criticize politicians, whether they're Republicans or Democrats, when I think they're in the wrong. But when I think they're in the right, we have to tell them we think that we appreciate what they're doing. And there's some guys standing over here. I see Andy Barr, who's running for 6th District Congress, Senator Damon Thayer, who co-sponsored this bill, Jim DeCesare, legislators that are standing up here saying, we agree with you, the people of Kentucky, it is time to limit the state's debt. And let's give them a hand for standing up for what we're asking for. And I want to leave you with this quote, because I know we're moving fast and I'm used to doing 3 hours at a time, and if I don't stop myself, I'll do 3 different shows all right now. I've got a few words I can say about the snot tax and the Sudafed bill, but that's not what this rally is about. So I want to leave you with a quote that I think is pretty apropos. It comes from one of my favorite authors, Dr. Seuss. I heard there are troubles of more than one kind. Some come from ahead and some come from behind. But I've bought a big bat, and I'm all ready, you see. Now my troubles are going to have troubles with me. Folks, as the people of this state, our trouble as taxpayers is profligate spending in Frankfort and profligate spending in Washington, D.C. And our big bat is government transparency and accountability. Let's take a step towards swinging that bat today. Thank you guys for having me. God bless you. God bless Kentucky. God bless America.